Hey, what's up everybody? This is D back again with MKD58 Media, and I've got another movie review for you guys. And this movie review is for the 2020 sci-fi horror film Possessor, the uncut version actually. So I don't know what's in the original version. I haven't seen that, so I don't know any differences. I would guess that this version I watched, the uncut version, is a little bit more bloody and graphic than the original version, but that's just a guess. So I just wanted to point that out. So Possessor, this is directed by Brandon Cronenberg, who actually is the son of David Cronenberg, who directed The Fly and Videodrome and Scanners, and is just really world renowned for his body horror in movies. So, and I didn't realize that father-son connection until partway through this film. And once I realized it, though, it made all the sense in the world, because this movie does have some pretty strong moments of body horror in it. So, and this movie is starring Andrea Riseborough, who some of you may remember from the movie Mandy, which is just this trippy, crazy Nicolas Cage movie. It's also starring Christopher Abbott, Sean Bean, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Now, what this movie is about, just a real kind of brief plot thing, and I really don't want to put any spoilers in there, so I won't say much about it. But Andrea Riseborough plays this character Tasia Voss, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, who is a assassin, and she works for Jennifer Jason Leigh, who plays Gertie. And what they do is they utilize this technology that allows them to go into the mind of a person and use that person to carry out a hit on a target. And they typically try to use somebody that has some sort of connection or access to whoever the target or the mark is for the assassins. And the contraption they use to do this looks a lot like the same contraption that they used in the Jennifer Lopez movie The Cell. There's some heavy similarities between that contraption and really the same type of stuff they do in The Cell and the contraption in this movie Possessor. So Christopher Abbott plays Colin Tate, who is a guy that Tasia Voss uses him. She goes inside his mind to possess him, so to speak, and use him to, you know, take care of an assignment, so to speak. And things start to get crazy because let's just say Colin Tate starts to lose a grip mentally, and Tasia Voss, the assassin that's in his mind, she starts to lose a grip as well. And things just get crazy. I'm dropping notes and shit. Things start to get crazy, and it leads to really kind of just bad results in a lot of cases, if not most cases. So, and I'll just leave it there. I don't want to, you know, really spoil anything. So, my thoughts on this movie. This is a really well made movie. It's got great craftsmanship, some really great looking kind of shot composition and framing and things like that. The acting, Andrea Riseborough and Christopher Abbott both give really great performances. I was really impressed. Just a lot throughout this movie, I found myself taking note of their acting performances. So they did a great job. And really, the story itself, the movie, I know even though it borrows from a few other films, I don't want to say borrows because that makes it seem like an intentional thing, but it reminds me a lot of multiple other films. Like there's, like I said, elements of The Cell. There's even things about the 2011 movie Drive that kind of remind me of that. This movie reminds me of Drive in many ways. Kind of some of the things with the shots and some of the things with the pacing and even some of the things they do in terms of the violence and how the violence is treated and how the violence is filmed and things like that. It reminds me a lot of Drive. So, but I say all that to say, even with those connections to other films, this movie still manages to feel new and kind of fresh and original in a way. Even if maybe technically the plot might not be that original, this movie just feels like something kind of different, and especially considering how it's very firmly planted in the sci-fi genre. When you think about the subject matter of the film, it's also very firmly planted in horror, because when you watch this movie, it turns into a horror story. It really does. You could say it's a horror story from the very beginning, but I went into this movie thinking more sci-fi. I don't want to say sci-fi thriller, but when I started this movie, my mind was prepared for more sci-fi related stuff, and the sci-fi stays steady throughout the film because of it's naturally there in the undercurrent, because of what's going on in the movie, like what the movie's actually about. The sci-fi element almost has to be there, but the movie really kind of transitions into horror very almost seamlessly. Like there's a point where you kind of realize just how dark this movie is, and how dark it's gotten, and how much darker it's going to get, because there's still, once you're introduced to certain characters and you realize some of the things that are going on, you can kind of see down the road a little bit how things are gonna have to get even darker, you know what I mean, for the story to continue. So this definitely has that going on, heavy horror and sci-fi with this, but it's just it feels original. It has a really original vibe to it, so I appreciate that about it. I won't go into that. I'm gonna leave it there. Actually, this is gonna be a short review because there's nothing. This is one of those movies I say just watch it. Definitely watch it. I'm gonna give this about an 8. I'm actually go 8.5 out of 10. Actually, I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10 because this is definitely worth a watch. This falls in kind of the same lane as Mandy, the aforementioned Nicolas Cage movie Mandy, where I feel like it's like a movie that's to be experienced. Like it's a literal kind of experience watching the movie, and that's how Mandy was. Mandy was very much an experience. When the movie was over, I felt like, you kind of felt like you had been on some sort of ride or trip even, you know what I mean? And that's kind of how Possessor is. There's a feeling of like you just went on a trip or some kind of ride or experience or whatever. So 8.5 out of 10 for Possessor. I'm gonna leave it there. Definitely check the movie out. Very strong sci-fi horror offering for 2020. So I liked it. It's dark. There's no positive, nobody in this movie is going through anything positive, and the positive that is experienced is very fleeting and is immediately washed away by extreme violence. So there is that. But 8.5 out of 10 for this movie. As always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Plenty of other reviews already up and plenty more on the way, amongst other types of videos. And as always, until the next time, I will catch you on the next go round.